Everyone, welcome back to Not on My Lifetime channel. Now, Thursday Truths, obviously a Thursday show that we always do with Bevo. Now, Bevo will be on a bit. If you're running a little bit late, because stuff going on behind the scenes, you're good. I'll be here in a bit, but also until then, I'll start the stream. And when he obviously gets onto the link, we'll get him on and get properly into the show. Big up the chat, big up Bazu, big up Section, big up Steve, as always, chatting away. Always good to see you guys in the streams, and thank you so much for helping us get to 800 subscribers yesterday. Massive. I'm really proud of how the channel's gone since we started up in March. So we're really pleased to see how far we're getting. Obviously, next up is 900 by end of November. So hopefully we'll get there soon. But for the moment, let's enjoy getting obviously 800 subscribers. Big achievement, and yeah, what 1K obviously continues, obviously, which is good. But yeah, exactly. Big up to everyone, obviously, on Twitter, YouTube, watching right now. Obviously, who subbed the channel. You're all a big part, obviously, of how we've come. Me, Danny, and Alex all appreciate it. So obviously, for obviously starting the channel off, obviously in March. Obviously, to get where we are now is really amazing. And we always said if we get to 1K by the end of the year, that would be amazing. So yeah, not far to go now. 1K is the next goal. Well, obviously get 100 first, but obviously 1K is the ultimate goal, obviously. And we'll have you be here soon. So if you haven't already, share the stream, share the channel around. Obviously, anyone you know is a City fan, get them to join the community. And yeah, so always fun and games in the chat as well. Yeah, let's get into the stream. So, as Sarah says, Erling Haaland scored a bicycle scorpion kick. Now, I know it's a bit mad, what sort of kick to say, but let's be honest here, right? That goal was, even to me, baffling. I've never seen Ibra score a goal like that before. A weird scorpion back heel bicycle kick. Honestly, he's created a goal out of nothing there. So it was absolutely crazy. Oh, and speak of Bevo, he's just arrived now. Oh, hold on. Bear with me. Come on, stream. Lemon. Hold on. Yep, there you go.
Hello.
Now. Hello, mate. You all right?
Good, thanks, mate. You?
Yeah, good. Thank you, mate. Good. Thank you. Right. I'll start the stream off. So it's now going now, which is good. So we'll sort of just get into it and sort of check out the game last night. But I thought I'd just give the viewers a bit of a shout out for helping us get to 800 subscribers yesterday, which is amazing. So getting on now, 900 1K.
On the road to 1K.
Absolutely, and every subscriber is always appreciated, no matter who you are, rival fan, whatever you want to watch the channel. Feel free. It's community here, and we're always pleased to obviously have everyone there. So, as I was getting into, mate, last night was, for the first time in probably a few games, a good performance overall. I was actually quite impressed with what I saw today. I mean, we'll start off with the positives of what. I mean, the goal yesterday that Haaland scored, I just could not believe what I saw there. Like, I've seen bicycle kicks, scorpion kicks, but I've never seen a bicycle scorpion kick from a weird angle.
Well, did you hear what Phil Foden renamed it? Because they said, "Oh, what type of goal is that? Like, what name would you give for it?" And he called, right, Steve, I'm Basu. Nice for you to be here. And Section. Yeah. So they said, "Oh, what would you call it? Like, what name would you give to it?" And he called it the robot leg.
To be fair, that's actually a good one, because the way he hit that, and let's not stress it as well, right? The way Savio crossed that ball into him as well was pretty good. Like, the bit of skill he did to get around the defender there. I mean, we've had that for a long time from a winger, but the cross and the ball.
Yeah, well, Savio's assist stats over at Girona from crossing stats are actually really good. And I said, I think it was the game against Fulham, I said we need Savio to be crossing the ball more than he is. I personally think Savio should be taking corners, because his crossing ability is crazy good. and it showed last night. You know, he's a young lad. He's come into City, and what's he got? Something like 4 assists in 3 games in the Premier League or something. Like,
yeah, it's 4 assists in 12 games overall. Which, by the way, he hasn't got a goal yet. Fair enough, but that will come. The goal is going to come at some point because the way he's playing right now is probably the best start I've seen from a winger. To be honest with me, I know Raheem started up pretty well under Pellegrini, but
yeah,
Savio's been honestly unbelievable. Like so far,
yeah.
he hasn't got a goal, but when that happens, mate, the goals will come because
It's almost like he is a Mahrez regen. His first touch is incredible. He's got the ability to slow down a defender, and then he's got that like quick burst of pace to get past him. Got lots of skills in his armory. His crossing ability is brilliant. I just think we've got an absolute gem for the future.
We do. And I tell you right, I want to see Savio and Bob in the same team. I want to see it because I tell you right, I watched a little bit of it in the Community Shield break before Bob got injured. But yeah, but Bob on the right, Savio on the left, with Haaland, De Bruyne. I was like, the way you counter attack, I was like, if that gets going at some point, we'll be scared.
I like it, but I don't know if I like Savio on the left. I think it was Fulham or someone like that we saw it against, and I quite like with the style of play that we play and the fact that Haaland, one of his weakest points is he's not very good at heading a ball. I would much prefer for them to be on the opposite foot, so left-footed on the right wing, right-footed on the left wing. Because the only reason you would have a predominantly left-footed player on the left side and a right-footed player on the right side is because you're planning on whipping crosses into the box. The problem that you've got in doing that is, yeah, you've got Haaland, who's incredibly tall, but the rest of the players around him aren't. Phil Foden's quite short. Bernardo Silva's short. You know, when Oscar Bob comes back, he's short. Kovacic isn't really that tall. Gundogan's not really that tall. So your only real aerial threat from crossing the ball in is Haaland. And occasionally you'll get John Stones that makes a move up front and whips his head on a ball, which seems to be a regular thing at the moment.
Rodri 2.0. If only Rodri, John Stones.
I do agree with Steve, though. It does depend on who the defender is, but generally, centre backs are generally quite tall. You know, especially when you look at like teams like Wolves, when you've got, you know, you've got 2 absolute units at centre back. You know, you've got the same at teams like Newcastle. Fulham have 2 quite tall centre backs. You know, Chelsea. Liverpool, Arsenal. So I think, yeah, it is a bit of, it depends who the defender is, but normally what you find that happens is because you've got Erling Haaland in or around the box, what then generally happens is you put your 2 biggest defenders on him, and then you've got maybe another defender just sitting to the side of him or something. So it's normally like a 3-on-1. And when he's your only real aerial threat, when you're whipping crosses into the box, it's not going to end well, really.
No, I'll be honest with you, right? I mean, the one header that he did have, I mean, with Palmer, right, there was a little bit of a change. I mean, headers he's getting there with. I mean, one header he had that was good save from the keeper. I thought he does that more, you'll start seeing more cross. But I think the players start getting the ball in the air for him. If he's trying to work on that, you could get better and better because he's tall enough as it is anyway. He's massive. So I think, well, surely you can work on the headers because if you do that, I mean, what was it against Wolves last year? The way he sort of like, jumped up like Ronaldo-esque header. I was like, you can do it then.
So, he can do it, but it is a weak point in his game. But I think that's more because they do put 2 or 3 massive guys on him at once. But if you look at the game where we absolutely hammered Real Madrid 4-0, he had 3 headers, I think it was, that game that Courtois pulled absolute worldies. So he can do it. I just don't think that it's one of his big points in a game. He prefers to have the ball played through to him. That showed yesterday. His second goal, the way that we worked from Foden up to Nunes, and then Nunes played that ball through to Haaland, and then he hit it on his right. That was prime City. That's the kind of sort of levels that we're used to and we expect as fans.
One-touch football. It was nice to see that again.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know what? Rico as well. He came in midfield and sort of ran through. I thought, right, that's what you're good at, Rico. Run through. And he found Foden, found Nunes. The one-touch play as well. I thought, went at that for a while now. I'm pleased that we find. I mean, I know obviously it's one game. Obviously, got to see how we obviously could get everyone back, obviously fit, and obviously, which is another thing we'll discuss in a bit as well. The injuries, because Christ, it's getting out of control now. Some of these injuries, out of nowhere, 2 players, and that later on. But the football we played last night, if you can get that where everyone is fit, we have every should be for every reason to be confident. Because I mean,
I do think we need to count ourselves lucky though that the level of opposition we played last night, we could afford to rest Grealish, we could afford to rest Doku, we could afford to rest and not have KDB on the pitch. We could afford to do it then. But if we're getting towards sort of around February, we need to have these players back and fit, because you can't go into that run-in in February with no Rodri, no KDB, no Grealish, no Doku. You just can't do it. And then you've got other players which are susceptible for injuries as well. Like Ake, he seems to pick up a knock every time he goes on international duty. John Stones, he barely plays 25 games a season. We need to try and keep him fit. Foden, if we pick up an injury to Foden and Grealish is and KDB's also out injured, that's our creative options gone.
Yeah. I mean, Ake, I thought actually played really well yesterday. I thought it was good to see him back in the team again. I think because when you play him right, I think you already know what you're missing sometimes. But when you see him play, I think bloody hell, he's so reliable as a defender. He's so good to have that kind of player on the team. Because obviously you got him and Cardio as well. Obviously, I know. Obviously, you want to go for a left back, but the fact we've got them options at left back with them too is fantastic. So I'm really pleased that we've obviously got him back. Obviously, well, hopefully, he stays fit. That's what we got to do is get most of the players back we can, because the more we get, it just gets more frustrating. I mean, it's good for McAtee and Nunes. So obviously, get more game time, but
I need to see more game time from Nunes now. He fully deserves it. Last night he was exceptional. Whenever he's been called upon this season, he has had a very, very good game. Every time he's played, he has had a very good game. Last night, I felt he was robbed of the player of the match. In my opinion, don't get me wrong. I'm happy for Phil. I'm happy that Phil got man of the match, but I do believe that should have gone to Nunes. Yeah, and I know, Steve. I know it was a case of we didn't have a choice, and players do get injured and can accept that. But I was just saying, I'm glad that it was Sparta Prague and not Liverpool or Arsenal or even if we were playing in the latter stage, the next few games of the Champions League. The next games we've got coming up, we've got Sporting Lisbon, we've got we've got PSG, we've got
Juve, PSG,
we've got Juve. So
final as well. Final.
I'm final as well. So I do believe that at least if we did get the injuries, they did come at the right time, I suppose. And even if you were to look on as far as the weekend and say, okay, well, maybe Grealish might not be fit for the weekend, there are worse games for him to miss. You know, Southampton at the moment aren't, you know, they've not got a win yet. So what I would say is at least the injuries have kind of come at the right time.
Mate, February. Imagine February of injuries, man. Oh god, I'd be like just head in hands, like just.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. We're lucky that we've got actually some that runs of the season. Obviously, this period now, obviously, period is March time, where we've got actually good run of fixtures. Like February is like the absolute chaos month where like everything will probably go. If we get through that, obviously unscathed, I think we'll be all right. But
yeah,
you know, obviously, FA Cup, Champions League, obviously, he gets to obviously be there anyway. So that will obviously add into obviously who we get in that period. But I think, look, don't be wrong, right? November isn't easy either. Bournemouth away will not be easy. Neither will Sporting, neither will Brighton. So anyone thinking, "Oh, it'll be an easy month"? No, like these games are going to get harder. And then in December, Liverpool.
Yeah.
So for me personally, yes, the performance was great. I'm pleased to see it, but that has to be the standard now. I think that we've got to try and reach minimum when we can and push more whenever it gets back from injury. I'm not saying. Go on, mate. Sorry.
I think the other positive to just take from it all, I'm actually going the other way a bit today. I'm going a bit happy clappy. But I think the positives. I think the positives to take from it all is that we haven't conceded a goal in the Champions League this year, and we've already played Inter.
It's weird that how we're really, really good in Champions League, and in the league we can't keep clean sheets to save our life. It's really weird.
Yeah. You know, we played Inter. We haven't conceded in the Champions League this year. Bevo's going full Martin.
Full Martin. Oh, big up Martin.
But my only critique, if I was to be critical of last night, because as we all know, nothing's perfect. Nothing's ever perfect, and there are things which no matter who we are or what we are, there are things that we can improve on. But I do think last night, in particular in that first half, we probably deserved more than the one goal.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like going into that second half only 1-0 up kind of overshadowed it a bit, really, because there was they going in 1-0 up. I think it was towards the back end of the first half. They had that chance where they went through on goal, and if it wasn't for that Ortega save, pipping it round the post, we could have been going into the second half 1-1, and it could have been a completely different game. I do feel like we're getting there, but I feel like we need to start killing these teams off earlier than we are. We're going into the second half. It showed last night. We scored 1 goal in the first half and 4 in the second half.
Always second half FC, aren't we? Our first half, which always seems to have a bit of a slow. Obviously, apart from the goal throw, which, by the way, our other throw was brilliant. By the way, took that ball and hit it in. I thought that's old throwing that is. So if you can get back to that level again, then we're all right. I think for me, I just want to get Kev back as well. If we have both of them back, then I'm like, okay, we've got some creativity in that midfield at least. So
I want to be sealing these games off early because like I said, we could have been going into that. We didn't, and I know there's people who have been on several chats before and that said to me, if me had balls, she'd be my uncle and stuff, all like that. But it's fact. They had an opportunity where they went through on goal and they could have scored. Yeah. If they'd have scored that, we'd have gone into that end of the first half 1-1. We didn't deserve to go in at 1-1. We should have been 2-3-0 up. And that would be my only critique from sort of last night. I think we need to maybe kill off some games a bit more earlier than we did. But another positive. I was just going to say one more positive, Mr. Happy Clappy tonight.
You up?
One more, hello, yeah. one more positive is that every single one of our outfield players got minutes. You know, O'Reilly got game time, McAtee got game time, Kovacic, Gvardiol. There was one more that I've missed.
Ortega's good, by the way.
Diaz.
Ortega's good as well.
Ortega was very, very good.
I think for me as well, I'm pleased to see him getting game time. Like, because look, we've got two good keepers. One's better than the other, but I wouldn't say it's a massive gap anyway. You want to keep both of them matched up. I think, you know, Ortega, obviously on Saturday I probably will start Edison. I know it's Southampton, but I don't care. It's a league game, and league games are important right now. There's no gap yet. We need to start getting the wins. I'd rather just make sure we've got the best team out there to get the job done. That's it. It's against Southampton. I want that game wrapped up.
I'm sorry, mate. I'm just reading through the comments. I just want to come on to that. The comment from Basu about the Athletic. Yeah, I mentioned this to you last night because I was texting you during the game, and I said to you, didn't I? I am loving what Akanji's doing because what he did, and it was obviously something that Pep's been telling them to do. What he was doing was they were playing a really low block and playing really deep in their own half. Akanji, what he was doing was getting the ball and he was running back towards his own goal and just keeping the ball. And he did it like 4 or 5 times. And I said to you, didn't I? I sent you a text saying, I'm loving this because what it's doing is it's forcing the players out and creating the space. You know, we didn't have to go full. At this point, we were like 3-0 up. We didn't have to go full ham. What we were doing, and I think we need to start doing this in other games where teams play low block, and we need to just, rather than defenders like Diaz and Akanji or Stones trying to find that pass through to the midfield, just keep hold of the ball and draw them onto you, because at some point whilst you've got the ball, they're not just going to sit back in their own half and just let you keep the ball for 20 minutes. They're going to draw onto you. So I really, really like that. And it showed a bit of shithousery. And sometimes like you do need a bit of that. And I really, really liked the holding on to the ball and thinking, well, we don't need any more goals. You come to us. And then drawing them out, and then that was creating the space for the midfield.
Yeah, Joe said before, right? I think like every game we're going to play, maybe bar certain teams here and there, will be a low block. Because from what I've heard, from what Russell Martin was saying during his conference today, Southampton are going to aim to win. I'm like, all right, fair enough. Rather you do that than just damage control. But the thing is if you're good just to try and win and play your own football, well, you're gonna get battered then.
That's the thing. When you try and play against City, it never ends well. You know, you look at the likes of Arsenal. Even Arsenal, with the quality of the players that they've got, when we play Arsenal, they're part of the bus FC. And every team that seems to get any form of success from us always comes from a counter attack. If they're coming to play football, they're going to get ruined. It's as simple as that. There is no team on the planet that can play football like City do, and that's finding. We do like the one-touch, quick passing and moving the ball around, and we thrive off that. So if you do that against us, we've got more chances of scoring. Look
at Madrid against us a couple of years ago in treble season.
Yeah. That 4-0 hamming. They tried to come to us and they tried to play football against us. And there was actually an interesting stat last night, and when I was watching the game, and it said that they'd made the other team had made like 17 passes or something. And we'd made like 169 or something, and it came up around the 15-minute mark. And the commentator actually said, "Oh, I've never seen anything like this." And I was actually sitting there thinking about it, and I thought, go back 2 years ago when we hammed Real Madrid 4-0 at home. They actually had, at this point in the game, I think they had 15 passes, not 17. They actually had less passes than what Sparta Prague did last night because they tried to play football against us.
That's the one
so when he says, "Oh, you'll never see anything like this. Oh, this is really unheard of." We've done it against 15-time Champions League winners. What are you on about?
Yeah, exactly. Look, for me personally, right, like, I think, I've also said before, like, I don't mind playing against low blocks, just find a way around it rather than pass it to death, because you pass side to side constantly, well, you'll get the same result. I'd rather like do that where you try and draw them out, because if they're going to sit there and sit on the entire game, that's their outlook. But you've got to find a way of pulling these teams apart, find their weak links so you can get in there. And well, when we did that, we scored 5 last night, and we found a way. And look, obviously every game won't be the same as the last game. I think Southampton will be a game that, I mean, everyone's going to win 7 or 8-0. We won't. If we do, I'll be very surprised. But then again, like, we've seen Southampton recently how bad they'll defend him. But when was the last time City actually won a game 7-0 or 8-0?
Leipzig.
Exactly. It's been over not far off 2 years. It's very rare we ever get that level of goals in a game. I'm not saying
I don't feel like we've done that again since Leipzig, like the 7-0s. Like,
yeah, but mate, that's what I mean. Unbeaten record in Champions League. We beat United again with another record.
Oh, have you seen the meltdown of that on Twitter today? It's been sensational.
All I'm going to say is, people, the channel name is what I'll just keep iterating, because that's what Fergie said all them years ago. So
yeah,
I'm just saying, mate, your whole legacy is getting out the pan here, and we're doing it. I mean, Big Steve said perfectly about it. Obviously, recently, I think they did a video today about it as well, sort of going in about the 115 thing. And I just thought he's bang on the money about everyone getting obsessed over it, because people just cannot handle us doing what we're doing. It's not their
boiling piss since 2008, and I love it.
I say it now. When that 115 thing ends and we actually come out of it on top, that piss being boiled will win the whole ocean.
Can I just add something to this as well?
Well,
I know we all absolutely love him, and he has his crazy moments. Pep Guardiola, longest unbeaten run in La Liga, longest unbeaten run in Bundesliga, longest unbeaten run in Premier League, longest unbeaten run in the Champions League. He has surpassed Sir Alex Ferguson by far. By far.
Now, the one thing I will say is the other thing he needs to get is the unbeaten is it 49 record that Arsenal got. That's the last one you got to get now, isn't it? Which we can do.
But we can do, but also at the end of the day, that is an anomaly. Like it very rarely happens.
Exactly what I've said before. He was average in Europe.
But the other things that you've got to consider as well. Domestic quad. No one's ever done it apart from City in English football. 100 points in the Premier League season. No one's done it except City. The treble was only one team to ever do the treble. 4 in a row. No one's ever done it except City. And again, I'm going to repeat it. Longest winning run in the Premier League. I actually think we hold 2 records for that. I actually think the second record in the Premier League is ours as well. If I'm not mistaken, I think we had the longest winning run. And then I think the season after we beat it and did another longest winning run. So I think we hold it first and second as well. Longest beaten run in La Liga, longest unbeaten run in Bundesliga, longest unbeaten run in Champions League.
Yeah, and Pete said it perfectly because it's not United manager because they can't really handle
but
it.
He didn't do it with Hibernian. No, because he's too good to manage at Hibernian. He was at Barcelona B, and then he got promoted to Barcelona A team. He's not.
Okay,
let's just put it out there. He's not going to go to Hibs. He's not going to go to. He's not going to go to a lower league club. He's not going to do it. He's Pep Guardiola. He got promoted from Barcelona's B to Barcelona's A. That he just did a different route to what Alex Ferguson did. Doesn't make him any less of a manager. If he'd have gone to Hibs or if he'd have gone to a lower league club, he probably would have done it there as well. Because he's Pep Guardiola. It's what he does.
What it is right as well. I mean, you look back, right, a lot of these United players and Fergie's legacy, right? I said before, Ryan Giggs was overrated. Very overrated. Like, when you look at the amount of games he played, right? All right, well done, he got 160 assists, right? Or 162 assists. Look at what De Bruyne has done in, like, 1/3 of the games that Ryan Giggs has played.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say, because he's just proven exactly, like, I'm not knocking, like, history of certain clubs, right? But the way that the nostalgia around that era is, they're wrong, right? To be that dominant, incredible. But when you look at what we've done in the last, 15 years, if we're being real, 15 or so, obviously, it can't, obviously, it's the last 13, because obviously the FA Cup, we'll say 13, remember 15. What we've achieved in that time, and the records that we've broken under Pep. And any other team that Pep would do that for, let's say for Liverpool, Arsenal, United, he will be getting hailed as the best manager of time. You know he would be.
The other thing I'm really grateful for with having Pep Guardiola as well, right, is he was at his boyhood club as the manager of Barcelona. That, that is the dream for anyone who, if you support City, right, like you take Phil Foden or Rico Lewis or someone like that who supported City since they were, they were born or a toddler or whatever. Their dream one day would be to play for Manchester City. They've done that.
Yep.
Their dream after that would be to manage Manchester City. That would be their dream as a manager. Pep went to Barcelona. He was manager there for 4 years, I think.
Yeah, 2008 to 12, yeah. Yep.
4 years. He then decided to leave and go and start a new venture and go to the Bundesliga. And he was at Bayern for 3 years.
3 years, yeah, I think so. Roughly the same time.
You can combine the years that he was at Barcelona and Bayern Munich, and it's still not the same amount of. It's still less than the amount of years that he's been at City.
Yep. Which tells you what you need to know, by the way, because do you want to know why that's the case, though? I've read the books, by the way, that Guillaume Balaguer's done, obviously, about Pep, Barca, and obviously, and don't get me wrong, right? His Barcelona team is one of my favourite teams of all time. I think City's team actually is near that team. I'm not doing this whole nostalgia thing. It's near that team. You can fight me all you want. It is, but I love it so much because of how good it was, and also the way he beat United twice in the Champions League finals. Yeah. My favourite one was 10-11. But I watched that on TV. Was that
the Messi header?
No, that was 2009. I remember it. I was sat downstairs watching it on TV. It's my first ever Champions League final I watched properly. And I was in awe of how good Messi and Pedro were that game. The way they were pinging the ball around and the way that Messi's goal, by the way, in that game blew me away. And that was like how football was like just, and the football that Pep had was unbelievable. I said to my mum,
talking of Barcelona players, have you heard the latest rumour that's circulated? Don't know how true it is, I'll have to do a bit of digging. I've heard in the grapevine. In fact, I'll text it you because I want to see your face.
Oh, by the way, I think as well. I think Martin said something as well. But yeah, Iniesta, that was it. Iniesta.
Yeah. Iniesta doing the coaching stuff. Have you heard that?
I've heard it. I was like, yes, please stop putting Iniesta.
The real Iniesta meets the Stockport Iniesta.
And the thing is, right? Imagine McAtee under Iniesta.
Yeah, Phil Foden, McAtee. You know, these players under Iniesta would thrive.
It will. Oh man, I'm putting Iniesta on the bench, mate. I think that is like. Imagine if Pep had Iniesta and De Bruyne on the bench with him. Just learn from them two. The best controller of a ball and the best creator of a ball. Yeah, that'd be ridiculous. So.
Yeah.
Honestly, mate, Iniesta would. I think the chat would agree with me as well. Iniesta would be the perfect person to come in because you know what it would do? It give Pep more reason to stay longer. It would.
They've missed a treat here, though, haven't they? Like, if you think about it, Xavi's was a manager for Barcelona, but Xavi will come back and be a manager for a team at some point. Iniesta should really go over to be his assistant, because when you think of Xavi or you think of Iniesta, you always think of the other. It's like they come as a pair.
Imagine if Xavi was
Xavi and Iniesta, isn't it? It's the pair.
It is, yeah. It's magnificent.
They missed a treat there, you know.
1-1. Fenerbahce scored. Yes.
Oh yeah.
En-Nesyri, my boy.
Is that who it was?
En-Nesyri.
Oh, good goal actually.
Mate, En-Nesyri, mate, is known for that goal. He's a class striker, mate.
Come on, Fenerbahce.
Oh, mate, mate. I don't want to say before we move on. How's he in a job still? How's he in a job still?
Oh, did you see the ludicrousy he come out with saying that he's comparing himself to Mourinho?
I was like, what?
The thing is, right, get this, yeah? He's come out and said, me and Mourinho are similar because we both won trophies. Okay, then, let's just put this into perspective, right? If that's the case, me and Arteta are the same because neither of us won the Prem.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. That's a very good point there. Very, very good point. Oh, God, mate, honestly. Going back to the original point now, Iniesta, right? That would be fantastic if he came in, because I think as well it would give Pep as well even more motivation to stay as well.
Yeah,
and
the other side of it as well is the one thing that we've been crying out for this season, and I think we've all said it, is that the one thing that we've been lacking so far this season is creativity in our midfield. And I think bringing in a creative midfielder as part of the coaching staff is only going to improve us.
Oh, please, Kev, one more year. Just please, just find a way. I don't want to see Iniesta. I don't care if Kev was 30, right? Imagine Iniesta in training with Kev, mate. That'd be fucking brilliant. I'd love that. That'd be amazing. Like two legendary midfielders the last, 15, 20 years. Mate, that'd be fantastic. Honestly, it probably won't happen.
It is more reason for Pep to stay, but the way that he's talking at the moment, he's talking like he's staying. Like the things that he's coming out and saying in press conferences and things, saying how he loves the fact that he sees that team spirit, because that's the one thing that he's always said. He's always said, as long as I keep winning and as long as I see the players fighting for it, what more do I need?
Do you know what, Steve? I wouldn't. Do you know what? Right, I wouldn't mind it if Xabi Alonso came in and then Iniesta was with him. That'd be awesome. Imagine, because Iniesta as well. we have no idea how good he'll be. I think he has to be a good coach. It wouldn't surprise me if he has to go that direction.
Even I believe, and I really do believe this. If Pep Guardiola signs another 1-year deal, we will already have our next manager lined up. It will be set in stone. There'll be some form of contract to set that will be put out to say you will sign for us next year when Pep Guardiola leaves.
I don't think it's Amorim. I think it is anymore.
Do you know what? I wouldn't be against Xavi, you know. I wouldn't.
That's what I'm thinking.
And do you know why? Do you know why? He won La Liga. He won La Liga in the situation that he was in, like the club, you know, because let's face it, the club didn't know that they were selling blades of grass just to keep themselves afloat. You know, and the fact that he beat, you know, Real Madrid with the team that he had, you know, because let's face it, you know, that Barcelona team isn't really like the year that he won it wasn't a great team. You know, it was okay. It was okay, but it wasn't great.
Yeah, Pedri, Gavi, they're good players, but they're all right.
You know, and what he did, yeah, I could see Iniesta coming in as a coaching role under Pep, and then Xavi taking over and Iniesta stepping up to the assistant role, and then you've got the Xavi Iniesta combination, mate.
Imagine
we've
voted on the back then. And then imagine as well, right? Imagine because Haaland will stay. That it will stay. He will stay. It will yes, then too. But also as well, imagine as well, right? Because look at what I know Bath are doing right at the moment under Flick so far. Often say that don't try and get your mouth. Because I tell you, right, Lamine Yamal I know how much it'll cost, right? But Barcelona have got to realise at some point as well, right, that they're not the same team they were years ago. They haven't got that, level anymore. Obviously, they still have a big team in their own right, of course they are, but and not that team yet. They're still where they were originally. But I just think,
yeah,
what I mean. I just think it's, it wouldn't surprise me if we actually try and go and get players from like Tottenham. Can't speak, but Yamal and that. It would be all. I would probably do that.
I think it's worth testing the waters. I think we're more likely to get Rodrigo than we are Yamal, just simply by the fact that Real Madrid have far too many attacking players. I think for me, I don't feel like we need a right winger. I don't think the right wing position is something really that we need. I think Savio is going to grow into that position anyway. He's only 21, and he's doing bits now. He's only going to get better. Yeah. We've got Oscar Bob when he comes back. We've got Foden that we can play at right wing. We've also got Bernardo Silva that we can play out at right wing. We've got Doku that we can play on the right wing. I just don't feel like right wing is the position that we need. I think we need another number 10. I think we need another number 8. We need a backup 6. We need a backup striker, and we could probably do with one more defender, probably a right back.
Yeah. Section. A big what like a Simpsons dome. Big dome in Manchester. There you go. Sunshine. There you go.
It's just like the Simpsons all over again, isn't it?
It is. I have 5 options for you, sir. Number 3, dome. That was
Cam centre mid. Number 6. I also think we need a backup striker if Haaland gets injured, and I think we need a right back. I think there's 5 players we need.
the Etihad Dome. You see it now, like those little planes just flying over, obviously, just dropping the dome on them.
The other thing. The other thing,
mate.
Yeah. Let's just do it.
The campus is complete. The dome is over it. It's done.
Let's just do it. Put it over the whole of Manchester and charge the charge the rags for coming into Manchester because they're all from London. Charge them an entry fee into Manchester. Let's do it.
Oh, go on, mate. Sorry, carry on. I've got to do there.
I was just going to say there's a lot of talk at the moment of us being linked with like sporting players and stuff. But one of the ones that's come out today is that we're looking at Gyökeres as a Haaland replacement. I can't see it happening because Gyökeres is too good of a player to be a bench player. We can't play him alongside Haaland because that just wouldn't work. And Haaland ain't leaving anytime soon because it looks like he's going to be signing a new deal. So I think all of this noise at the moment that's around City, it's like, oh, they're after Amorim. Oh, they're after Gyökeres. It's just because we brought Viana in. The one thing that I like about Viana, and it's something that LB mentioned on his stream earlier, and it was something that I was aware of, Viana doesn't really do he doesn't really buy three players for cheap. What Viana does is he likes to spend big on one player. So I Mourinho's been sent off apparently.
Oh bloody hell!
But I quite like that. I because that then it gives us the incentive that we'd be looking at the likes of a Wirtz, we'd be looking at the likes of a Musiala, a Rodrigo, these sort of levels of players because we've got the money to do it. And this war chest that we've got, let's be real, we've hardly spent any of it.
The reasons that I reckon. I think the thing is, right?
There is a reason for that. Because I believe next summer we are going to be splashing out probably the best part of maybe £400-500 million, all in all, with players, with agent fees, with salaries for the over the years. I think all in all, because if you look, right, if we were to go and bring in Wirtz, between agents' fees, his salary over the 3-4 year contract, whatever it is, and the transfer fee, you're probably looking all in all at what, 180 million, maybe 200 million, all in all.
Roughly, yeah. I agree with that.
And then we're going to have to get, that's the cam. We're then going to have to get a Zubimendi type player. With his release clauses like 50 million, agents fees and wages over the 3-4 year contract, you're probably talking about what, 80 million there, roughly.
Roughly, yeah.
So you've got 280 million right away just on two players. Then you've got a right back. If you were to look at someone like Frimpong, I think his release clause is like 45 million, something like that. But then with agents' fees and players, players' wages, you're probably looking at 70 million there. So then you're over 300 million.
Just a quick one, mate, before you carry on. Sorry to interrupt you. I think with Frimpong, from what I've heard, that's a deal pretty much almost agreed. I think Walker's going in the summer, and Frimpong will come in to replace him. I think that's kind of what the plan's going to be.
Yeah, I think that needs to happen. I like Rico Lewis. He's not a right back. He is a very, very good player and can play very, very well in a lot of different positions, but he's not a right back. Even though, he is sort of proving himself so far this year in that position. He comes up against the real test when he comes up against like a Luis Diaz or a Vinny Jr. That's the real test, because even if you look at Arsenal, right, Trossard, Martinelli, they're not really a test, if I'm being honest. Like they're okay players, but they're not a test.
I can't see Trent, mate, going to City. Any other team.
The other thing is as well is I wouldn't want Trent, not with the comments that he's made over the years about City and the fact that, you know, it means 4 and all that. And
yeah, I think for that one, much as I like him as a player, Trent, he's not going to happen with City. Not for me personally, but I think Steve said it perfectly. I like him personally as a player. I don't think he's world class, but I think he's a very good player.
No, he's not world class. He can produce a good pass, but I think defensively he's quite poor.
Yeah.
He finds himself out of position quite a lot.
Yeah. This is what I mean about Rico, right? But you put Rico right back. Like, I don't like. I love Rico. I just don't want to be doing this. Like, he's a good player. I just want Frimpong personally. That's all I want. Right?
Yeah, no, and Frimpong makes sense. You know, he knows the structure of the club. He's been at the academy. He knows the setup. He knows the city. You know, he knows a lot around of the local area, and he'll settle in quite quickly. I think Steve's right. You know, Trent is Madrid bound, because I feel like with Real Madrid, there's only so much more you can probably get out of Danny Carvajal. And the fact that he's now got this massive injury, you know, Carvajal's getting on anyway. But
34 now, isn't he? 34?
Yeah, and with this injury that he's now got, you know, he's never going to come back the same player. So I think if there's any time for Real Madrid to go for Trent, it would be probably this summer.
Yeah, I agree on that one. Look, the thing is, well, right, with Frimpong as well, but a lot of people don't realise, but he's often, I think a mate of his, I think is often, you know, whoever watches him play. I think other people know about the DSK Darren. I think, obviously, I'm not sure if people follow him on Twitter. If you don't, it's fine. He's actually a mate of Frimpong. I think obviously he runs a business called Clint's, which is obviously quite a popular brand at the moment. Obviously quite popular with a lot of players at the moment. I think Frimpong, he's been sort of saying about Frimpong, sort of saying how he wants to come back to City. I think obviously he'd be interested, obviously going back. So it would surprise me if in the summer is that
the bloke that does the training camps over summer for players and stuff?
I think no. I think what I'll do, I'll send you his Twitter at some point. Darren, obviously, he's on Twitter. He's a verified account, but like he's like there's a lot of pictures of him and Frimpong. A lot of other players, because I think him and Frimpong are actually good mates with him. So
what's he called?
He said, I think it's DSK Darren. I think I don't want to sort of 0161 Darren. That is out on Twitter. But yeah. We're signing Crouch anyway. God, Crouch, imagine that. Peter.
I know who he is.
Yeah, he posts a lot of him away. Obviously, I think in like Germany and obviously Netherlands. Obviously watching the certain players. They're like he's friends with a lot of the players. Frimpong's one of his best mates. He often said that he wants to come back to City. Frimpong. So I have a feeling the reason why in the summer we didn't go and get him because Walker did on the leaf.
And I think that the time is right, end of this season, for Walker to leave. You know, I'm incredibly grateful for what he's done for the club over the years. But the same with Fernandinho, the same with David Silva, the same with Kompany, the same with Gundogan initially. There comes a point in a player's career where it's time to move on. And I just feel like I even feel like since around sort of the treble season, he's not really been getting the minutes which for the stature of player that he's been over the years. Like, I mean, he didn't get he didn't get a starting position in the Champions League final. Like, I think that tells you all really you need to know. You know, last year he didn't really get much game time. It was you know, he still got games, but it seems like gradually year on year his minutes are being reduced, and I think it is time at the end of this season for him to sentimentality only gets you so far.
Oh, Palmer return. I do not. The thing is, right? I like Cole Palmer. I'm really proud of what he's doing. I think I always knew he was a good player in there. I wish he actually stayed at City maybe one more year. I reckon him and Bob probably would have got the same amount of game time anyway. Probably would have done just as good. But I kind of get why he wants it game time. I understand he wants to obviously go out there and improve himself, and he's doing really well with Chelsea. So I can't fault it at all. I think he's doing a great job, but I just can't see him coming back to City. I think that ship is now settled. Now, I thank him for obviously we did at the club, the academy. Obviously got a few goals here and there. He's a very talented kid. I'm pleased what he's doing with Chelsea and also for England. I think he's doing a great job. I just think what we got to do is realise that look, some players just don't make it here. Doesn't mean that he's a bad player. I just think that look at Foden, right? Foden is the pinnacle of player that they produce in the academy. Palmer's like there. Foden's there. Palmer's like there. He will be one of the players that will be just wasn't good enough. We didn't have Mahrez in his team at time. Palmer probably won a lot more games that year.
I think with Palmer as well, he is now grown into that position at Chelsea of being the main man. And coming over to City, he would never get that opportunity to be the big man, the main man, because we've got the likes of Haaland, we've got the likes of KDB at the moment, we've got the likes of Foden. You look at Chelsea's team, they've got Nicholas Jackson, they've got Joao Felix, they've got he has more of an opportunity. Nkunku. Good players, but he has the right there to be considered the sort of main man, and I just don't think he would get that. The other thing as well, which it kind of points me on to the fact that it ain't going to happen, is there was a news article by some journalists not that long ago saying that City were going to. That City were looking at bringing back Cole Palmer. I think they said like 140 million or something like that. The reason why I know that's rubbish is because whenever City let go of a player, they always put in a buyback clause. And there is no way that City would have put in 140 million pounds worth of a buyback clause. We did it with Romeo Lavia. We do it. Any player that leaves City, we always put in a sell-on clause and we always put in a buyback clause. Those are the two things that we managed to put in. That's the reason why players do leave for fairly cheap. You look, some of the players that are leaving. You go, oh, well, why are they going for quite cheap? And it's like, well, because they've got a buyback clause and because they've got a sell-on clause. So City reduce the cost because they know that they've got the ability to get more money from the player when the player leaves. Look at Douglas Luiz. When we sold Douglas Luiz to Aston Villa, he never played a game for City. He was at Aston Villa for years. When Juventus bought Douglas Luiz, they had to pay a £8 million sell-on fee to City. Didn't play a game for us. That's what I mean. We always put in sell-on clauses, always, and buyback clauses.
I just think that Palmer, right? Look, I see it's perfectly here. There's too many players now going forward. Now it just again. I wish Palmer got more games than he did, but at the end of the day, right? We've won stuff. It's a massive, blowback. I think for me, Bob will come back then. Then Bob, right? I know obviously it'll be a bit of an injury. Obviously, there'll be a bit us trying to get stuff back to. But I think looking at obviously how Bob's been, obviously obviously recently. He looks really good. Really happy. So obviously get himself back into it again. With Bob, I think he'll make up for Palmer not being here. I think Bob's that kind of player where we won't miss him so much because when I've seen Bob so far, I've been so impressed with how technically gifted he is. I know he had an injury, but I think he'll be fine anyway long term.
It's not going to be a long term lasting thing for him.
No, it won't be. I'm really excited to see him play. Him and I'm so excited to see the actual option we go. I think because Bob can play anywhere, going forward anywhere. So I'm very excited to see what we go with. But with Palmer, for me personally, no, I think the time has gone now.
Talking of right wingers, the human fidget spinner's just come on.
Oh, and bloody hell, mate, honestly, one of the worst players I've seen in my life. Well, how did Ajax make was 100 million euros off?
80 million pounds, by the way.
Plus add-ons as well. Add-ons
yeah,
as well. Yeah. How have Ajax done that? I don't shit now, Ajax.
Because, right, I'll tell you this now, yeah. Anthony is the GOAT, and I'll explain to you why. Right? I'll explain to you why. Anthony has more Premier League goals and more Premier League assists than Lionel Messi.
Oh God! Oh, you aren't wrong. Fucking hell, man! Like, do you know what it is? Right, that is United. Right, are the kids? Well, it comes to transfers. Are the kids just keep on giving? How much shit ones they have? It's just like, and he's the worst one of the lot.
United always put weird deals like the whole signing Anthony Martial, putting in the
Ballon
d'Or clause and stuff like that. What are you doing?
He's a fucking Greece now, mate. His career's finished. They ruined his career before he started, mate. Like, look at Depay. Look at his career. He's only Panathinaikos. Where's he now? Is it a free agent now playing Depay? Look at his career. Where it's gone. It's like all these players, right, that are meant to be top class players, right? And don't get wrong, right? Memphis Depay at PSV, one of the best young players I've ever seen in recent years at that time. And I thought, I said before, he should have gone to someone like a Southampton when Koeman was in charge of Southampton at that point. He probably would have got a lot more game time in Southampton, particularly good for them, like Mane was for them, and Tag was for them.
Yeah.
He probably would have gone for money. He should have taken that step before going on to the big club. But he went to the big club straight away. When we all knew he was ready for it. Don't wrong. He's had so much talent. Depay, so much talent.
Yeah.
But it's what I hate when they buy. I hate when that club buy players that I like. It's like, why are you doing that? Why are you buying Haaland for? I was watching that guy for years. I didn't even get him. I just like some players I like, man. Like Van Persie, honestly.
If United lose tonight, are they pretty much out of the Europa League?
I don't think. Well, no, it's game 3, isn't it? I think they're out. Let's have a look. Hold on.
Because they're awful. I keep just flicking my head back to watch, and they're just awful.
Right now,
I know they've not won a game.
Mate, they're 21st. They're 4 places off the bottom, few clubs.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So if they lose tonight, and other teams around them win, they're pretty much done for, aren't they? They'd have to pretty much win every game after that.
Well, Rangers are winning 4-0 against Stade Bucharest right now. Third beating Hoffenheim 2-0. Lyon lose to Besiktas. United the draw with Fenerbahce. Bilbao beating Prague. Tottenham beating Alkmaar 1-0. Lazio win their game. Mate, I think United are going to drop out of the Europa League. Like, their goal came from a midfielder. They won't even be there next season.
How bad is that though? Like, just deep this now, right? They finished bottom of their group last year in the Champions League, and now they're 21st in the Europa League.
In the Champions League as well, like, we'll discuss it. Ugarte is shit, by the way. Overrated player.
Yeah.
I watch Sporting and Portugal football a little bit, obviously, when I do, because I love watching certain leagues, right? Ugarte was one player that I thought was decent, but I never really thought it was a player that I generally would blow away anyway. I thought, why they go for him when at PSG's done nothing anyway? Never said that at all for me. Like Vitinha, understand actually decent. I'm not saying he's silver levels of Portuguese talent, but he's a similar sort of player to him. If you got it right of him, you could be that kind of player. Be it in that at all. And Steve, you're right, but again, who are they going to get in? Ollie?
I think they're lining up Van Nistelrooy.
Because right, let's go through it. Right, so Zidane, no, never going to happen.
Zizou's never going United.
Imagine now, what's happening? Why is there a
Ferrari?
It's like a Ferrari being parked up in a small suburban garage.
Yeah.
What are we doing here, mate? What are we doing? Like, I just come on, like, be realistic here.
Zizou is never going United. It's simple as that.
Like, who else is there right now? Who else is out there? I'm just trying to think.
Like, you've got Xavi, who's a free agent.
He won't go United. He won't go.
He won't go United. There was talk that Ollie wanted the job back. I think Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer came out in the Norwegian press and said that he'd gladly take the United job back if they called him.
If he comes back, right, I'll use this really classy bottle opener that our girlfriend got me in Turkey, right? If he comes back to United for one last dance, I will get proper beer on the stream with you, and we'll just celebrate that. Because I tell you, right, if they bring it back again, then honestly, look, they're shit anyway, mate. But this level of incompetence is something I've never seen before in my life.
He may while he's there, he may as well go and get some new taps and some new air, so it's not a wasted journey for him.
Exactly. Like, right, Champions League, right? Bayern Munich are 23rd.
I know.
Now, that's something I want to discuss as well, right? I get LB loves company, right? Look, we'll do. Of course we do. I just don't want him at City anytime soon.
He's got a lot to learn, I think, still. I think he's got the right mentality for a top class manager. I like the fact that no matter what, he continues to want to play the same way, and again, sticking to his guns. I like that. I think the jump from Burnley to Bayern was just too much of a big step. He'd gone from Anderlecht, who, you know, he did okay with Anderlecht, fair play to him. He then got the Burnley job, did very, very well in the Championship, come up to the Premier League, didn't really cut it. Again, through no fault of his own, I don't think the squad was good enough. But then to go from Burnley to Bayern and to sort of manage the levels of players that he's managing, you know, go to Bayern, he's managing Harry Kane, he's managing Musiala, he's managing, you know, Gnabry, you know, all these top class talents. You know, Neuer. You know, I think the jump was just a little too big for him. It's almost like Calvin Phillips going from Leeds to City. I just feel like it was the wrong move. It was the right move, but it was the wrong move because it was too soon.
Yeah, I agree. Well, before we move on, right, this is brilliant. Like, go to Turkey, get a hair transplant, and come back United manager.
But again, you know, he's top. They're still top of the Bundesliga on goal difference. You know, going to Villa Park is never an easy task. You know, Villa Park, Aston Villa dumped on us at Villa Park last year. You know, going to Camp Nou. Well, it's not Camp Nou, I don't think, but going to Barcelona and playing against Barcelona, who under Hansi Flick are doing really, really well.
Wrong about Calvin.
But yeah, he's got a lot of work to do, but he's top of the Bundesliga. He does have to win every remaining Champions League game to be within a shout. But yeah, I think maybe it's a little too soon.
Yeah. If you look at, he's got Benfica next, and Benfica are weird because it beat Let's Go 4-0 and lost to the finals 3-1, so they're really random right now. And you've got PSG. Now PSG have been average, mate. Average, just painfully average. PSG. They will never ever win Champions League. I don't think they'll ever win one. It's just they had the chance years ago and shoveled that with Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. They didn't do it. That was the best chance and they blew it. So PSG win it.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think much of Real Madrid this year.
Now people say, "Oh, but they came out against Dortmund." Well, yeah, but Dortmund defending, especially, are we all new here? Dortmund can't defend and save their lives. Have you ever watched Dortmund play against good teams?
I just, for me, like Real Madrid, if we got told, oh, Champions League quarterfinals, you're playing Real Madrid, I'm not going to be worried.
Just this time, put the ball back in the net a bit more, please. Not just constantly hit the bar, hit the wide. If he plays against Rudiger this year, he'll be a lot better. Trust me, it'll be a lot more in there this time against Rudiger. That's what I want to see. I want to see it Rudiger. No. Joe as well, right? Big up to Stade Brestois, by the way. Brest are a good team so far. So far, very good so far. Villa was it unbeaten, 3 out of 3 wins, clean sheet as well. So us.
Look at Lille as well.
Beat Atletico and Real Madrid. Jonathan Davis leading in the season for Lille on a free. He's a great striker, by the way.
Is that Lille manager the one that's not got his coaching badges?
Oh, I think so. I'll have a look at one.
That's
Genesio.
No, it's not the one. No. Who's the? I think he's English. Will Still, is it?
Will Still.
I think it's Will Still or it's something like that.
Yeah.
Who's he managing? Because he's an unbelievable manager. Oh, he's Belgium. He is not England. Lens.
Well, yeah.
He's an unbelievable manager. He is.
That's what I mean. Like, I just think, like, I think that you and me, I think the chat as well, we're all on the same page. So it's like, the future of the club kind of. We're all kind of relaxing there because at the end of the day, right, it hasn't happened yet. Obviously, at some point it will change, but we're not scared of change. We're scared of change at all.
Lens lost a game this season.
I know, yeah. Also, good.
Played 8, won 3, drawn 5.
Kevin Danzo, Medina at the back. Yeah, David Costa. Yeah. As good players in there. Yeah, do you know what? I won't lie. I can see a little bit of confidence in the match there. Honestly, though, right? Looking at the group, right? Monaco are good so far. Beat Barcelona 2-1.
I think the Sparta Prague's coach has got a look at you, you know.
Hold on, I've got to check this. Hold on. Is it me as an old man, probably? Wouldn't surprise me. Let's have a look. Who's in charge of Sparta Prague? Have a look. Yeah, yeah, it's 20 years old with hair.
Here, 1 second. Let me.
Oh my god, let's chat. This guy, I haven't seen him. If I have white tinted glasses, then yeah, it would definitely be me.
Yeah, I'm trying to share. What we saying, lads? Do you reckon? Do you reckon it's our Luke?
You won't get this at any other stream, by the way. This comparison to other managers, you won't get this at any other stream. If you like it, subscribe. You get more of this every stream now. Just see 2 stars.
I'm telling you, that's uncanny. That.
It's bad. It's bad that if you and me relate because we're glasses. So come on, man. Thanks, mate. Oh, fair enough. All right, I manage Prague now. Then that's cool.
I was actually going to send you a message last night and saying congratulations on your new role.
Sake. Oh, you know. Oh, mate, honestly, but it's large from now on to me. You know what? Yeah, MC. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Hold on, mate. Come on, mode.
Anthony's just come on. He's just got stretched off the field.
Right, people, ready? Changed it. Changed the name.
Lars, there we go.
Lars. God, mate. Wait, he came on the pitch. He came off again.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. MCFC Lars, mate. Well, fair enough. That's my new name now, then. Fair enough. I'll change the name. Don't worry, I'll pass it on to. Thanks, Steve. Yes. More jokes that add to Martin's vocabulary now.
Anyone in the chat that's good at clipping, clip that and let's get it viral.
I get old yet, man. Come on, I'm 24, man. Come on. Oh no, it's fine. Trust me, right? Tone did me in properly on LB show recently, because he's from where I'm from anyway. Down the road from me. I was like, you fucking bastard. But yeah, so no, trust me. That's I guarantee you. Somebody messaged me tomorrow saying it's a so-called Lars now. Yeah, exactly, Steve. That is my new name now. I'm mentioning let the lads know in the chat as well about it. Bloody hell. Anyway, before we end the stream, I'll ask you about Saturday and how we not in my thanks, mate. Not in my last time. God's sake. It's a new meme now on the channel now. Mate, Steve, you trust me. I have no idea what he's thinking, by the way. Red top in a bloody City stream. What? I was like, what are you doing, mate? You should be a fan than I am. How are you going to wear a bloody red top? Come on, mate. Rookie error, that. Rookie error. Didn't go to the at all. But no, but before we end the stream, prediction for Saturday. How you feeling about Saturday, mate?
I'd like to see a few more players back from injury. If I'm being honest, I'd like to see maybe Jack come back if he's available. I feel like we are missing maybe an option. I do feel that with the squad that we've got, we are a little bit short. I think that proved it last night. We only had 5 outfield players on the bench,
Seven subs.
5 outfield players on the bench, 2 goalkeepers. And if I'm being honest, the players that we had on the bench, lacks experience. We've got McAtee on the bench. Fair enough, he's had experience with Sheffield United. Got Rico O'Reilly on the bench. That takes it down to 3 players really that have somewhat experience in Kovacic, Diaz, and Gvardiol. I'd like to see maybe 1 or 2 come back from injury, hopefully. But again, it is what it is. I think the team that we fielded last night to start with, I feel like that's probably enough to get through Southampton. I think if we field the team that we did against Southampton last night, I think it's maybe a 3-1 or a 2-0, something like that. I feel like if we can get maybe 1 or 2 back from injury, I think you could be talking sort of 3-4.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go 3-0. I think
the other thing that I would say, I would like to see Gundogan dropped.
You know what? I'm the same. Not
I would.
Terrible, but I think he's been playing a lot of games recently.
I feel like if we fielded the team that we fielded last night, but we swap Gundogan with Kovacic and we swap Ake with Gvardiol, I feel like we're good.
Yeah, agreed. I'll go 3-0 tomorrow. Saturday. It's not Friday yet. Yeah, I'll go 3-0. Steve, come on, mate. You know what? I should bet this more every time now. You know what? It's fine. Every time it will be Lars now. That is my new name. I'm now Lars. I'm now a Danish City fan lives in the south of England. That is me now. Managing Sparta Prague from the comfort of my own home.
Do you want to do a little predicted starting 11 for the Southampton game? I think it'd be good to maybe do that from now on, time to time.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah. Let's say if you haven't already, people, which like the stream we haven't already, it always helps. It always helps the channel get more likes on it when we can. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, you can sub Bevo if you want to sub Bevo. Obviously, I think you aren't doing much at the moment on your mate on channel yet.
Yeah, no. I'm to be honest, mate. At the moment, I'm quite enjoying just sort of going on streams with you, and if I'm asked by LB or something, go on LB stream. I will eventually get mine back at some point. But for the here and now, I've got quite a lot going on in my personal life that I can't commit to doing regular streams like I'd like. So it'll come back eventually. I'm not getting rid of the channel. The channel's still staying there. But just to reiterate that there is a lot of work that goes into doing these streams, and I can appreciate what Luke does, and LB, and Hugh, and City Luke TV, Martin. They put behind the scenes, they put a lot of work and a lot of time into what they do. So yeah, there is a lot of going into it. It's just time at the moment that I can't commit. But I will get it back. And my please do subscribe, because there will be stuff coming out in the distant future.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be good to have that at some point. But before we end, we'll do obviously a quick. It's 11 before the end of the game.
So what we saying? We're saying Edison.
Yeah, look, they're right. I wouldn't mind if Ortega did start, but I think I'll get Ederson. Yeah, so obviously starting most of the league if possible. So yeah, I'll go Ederson.
I think at right back we have to go Rico.
Yeah, because if we go because Walker's out injured down for a bit, isn't he? So
Walker is injured for a bit now. Yeah. I'd like to keep the same as last night, so I'd probably have a Kanji.
Yep. And Stones, yeah. Or would you have Diaz? Would you because I don't know, like is Diaz like captain style, or captain material, or that's what I'm just thinking.
He is captain material. I just think John Stones at the moment is undroppable.
Yep. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I agree on that one. Left back, Josko. For me, the best defender. Oh,
he's that good. They've done him twice.
Oh mate, yeah. For me, I think he's the best defender that is in for us so far. Been brilliant.
I just realised the formation's a bit ski with.
It's a bit old school, minute. Old school 4-4-2.
4-4-2, yeah.
Get phoned up front of Haaland. Right. Rodri.
I actually don't think it's going to be a 4-3-3. I think it's.
Is it like 4-2-1-3? That's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's like a 4-1. It's like that, isn't it?
Or 4-1-4-1. That's what it is. 4-1-4-1, I think. You've got a sitting DM, two midfielders, and yeah.
Yeah, it's about right, isn't it?
So yeah, it's about right.
For me, has to be Kovacic.
Absolutely.
Now, this is where we get to the territory. For me,
go on, right.
For me, I'll put mine in and let's see if you agree.
All right.
There is no Savio.
Savio.
There you go.
There is.
This is where it gets tricky.
Yep.
Oh, hi.
Bernardo Chief.
That's the team I'd field.
Joe, what I agree with you because let's be real, right? Kev's not probably be on the bench of anything. Maybe a bench if we're lucky on Saturday. I reckon if anything, it'll probably be back for Bournemouth. Being real here, so yeah. I think Doku and Grish are back at Bournemouth as well. I think Pep's going to risk him on Saturday. No point for me personally. I think Gundogan needs to be dropped for a bit. He hasn't performed well at all, apart from your goal in the Champions League. I think that team is probably what I'd go for. Yeah. Thanks, mate. Cheers for that. Last cheers for that. my first, my last. These memes are brilliant, mate. What are you doing?
He's gone.
No, well, look, I think I agree on that one. 4-1-4-1. Because obviously, if Doku and Jack were fit, obviously a whole different team. Probably Nunes in the midfield with Foden, probably. But for me, though, Nunes must start. He must start on Saturday. He cannot be benched again. I know laughed at me as well. So I just He's just on the right one right now. Yeah, the way about puns, but yeah, I think the team for me is perfect.
I was going to say, I've just been looking at them in there, and Steve Black's gone to town.
He does anyway. He does anyway.
Same team as last time.
Ah. Oh, yeah. Okay. No, but for me personally, that team is what I go with. It's midfield's kind of what I go with. I think Gundogan should be starting anyway. I'm not saying he's been terrible, but he's not the level he was we were last year. I've got to start playing players that are on board.
I think the other thing as well is we've got to bear in mind, if we're playing like how we have done with playing Kovacic and Gundogan, both in the midfield, they haven't got the legs. They've not got the legs to do it. So you have to put in Phil. You have to put in Bernardo Silva. So for me, it's between Gundogan and Kovacic. And right now, I'm taking Kovacic over Gundogan. Kovacic has scored 2 goals, not last time, not last game, the game before.
Yeah, I agree.
He scored the goal against Chelsea. He's got 3 goals so far this season, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the Premier League.
I think you're right there. Yeah, I think you're right. But yeah, that's why I go with anyone on Saturday. I think, look, just for me personally, it's just getting the win. Just get the win on Saturday. Get more 3 points on the board. Just look, Liverpool and Arsenal in that game. What will be. That game, I'm kind of just go enjoy it for what it is. That kind of game. I'm not bothered about who wins it. Really, Liverpool win it, fair enough. But I just want to see where Arsenal are. Obviously, at Saliba. That's what I want to see on Sunday. But before we even get there, I want to see us just get the job done Saturday. Put pressure on both of them. So we're going to get the win.
The only I agree. Bernardo probably deserves a break at some point, but I think with Gvardiol, I think he got enough of a rest last night. He didn't come on until like the 70th or something. I think Gvardiol's probably had enough of a rest. I think Bernardo, he can just keep going. He is a machine.
Yeah, he's fine. So, yeah, that's the point of not playing him. Yeah, I think that 3-0 wins what I go with. As long as we get the job done, that's all I care about. And then the Tottenham away, couldn't care less at all. Look, obviously, we win, cool. But the League Cup's the last thing I give a shit about. Out of all the trophies now, like, we won it 4 in a row anyway, and I think we've won enough. Obviously, it's still a trophy that you want to obviously try and win, but if our injuries right now as well, if our injury crisis we've got right now, I'd rather not risk any players in that game. If we get through penalties, great. I'll take it.
That's the time. That's the time where you can look to rest Gvardiol at the Tottenham game, and you can play Ake. That's the time you can look to rest Bernardo. That's the time you can look to rest, the likes of maybe Haaland or Foden or whoever it may be. That's the game. I think Premier League, we need to get the job done and move on to the next. If we go 3-0 up in the first half against Southampton, bring off Haaland, bring off Foden, bring off Gvardiol, do it.
We're at that point now where we can't really risk Haaland anymore. Like, if it was fit, I wouldn't be too bothered. But if we go up 3 or 4-0, I want him off, so we rest him for the next game.
Well, that's what he did the other night, and Haaland didn't like it. He wanted to stay on and get the hat trick, but it was great management. Bring it, you were at that point you were 3-0 up, if not 4.
4-0 up.
You were 4-0 up. You don't need Haaland on the pitch. Get him off.
Exactly. So I think 3-0 wins what I'll go with, and just let's just hope that's, just get the win on Saturday, get on to Tottenham, get that out of the way. After that, get on to Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth obviously isn't obviously next week, so we'll obviously after going to that, well, next Halloween. I'm not sure what happened on Halloween. If you've got any plans with your kid or anything like that, I'm not sure. Is there any planned for Halloween for you next week or nothing?
Yeah, I'm taking little lad out trick or treating. It won't be a late one because they'll have to be sort of back and stuff. So probably schedule it for say like 8:30, something like that. Be back and sorted by then.
I will also be I think during next week I'll get myself a pumpkin, a very special one to go on streams from now on, because obviously I've already said before. Yeah, there's your one there. I've already said before to Bevo what are we going with for my decoration as it's a special, time this year. I thought, well, why not go for something really scary that everyone's worried about right now, but especially and especially well in court right now. Again, I won't say much more about it. I'll show you it on probably Monday or Tuesday. We'll actually get the actual pumpkin in. But trust me, it's worth waiting for that one. Trust me, it'll be a fun one.
It'll
be Lars. So it'll be a Sparta Prague badge on the pumpkin.
I actually did a pumpkin for my little lad. I'll get it up, show you. So every year he likes something new. So the first year I did it, he wanted Peppa Pig. Last year he wanted Spider-Man. And this year he said to me that he wanted a car. So each year is getting harder and harder and harder. But that's, I don't know if, there you go, I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, that's pretty good, yeah.
Oh, it keeps, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, so yeah. That's really good, actually. That's really good design, actually. Mate, Steve, I know. I went to one recently. So it's like a film field constantly. It's mad how many have grown each year.
I took him pumpkin picking, and I thought, oh yeah, great idea. I'll take it in Lost Cars.
Oh, for God's sake!
I took him pumpkin picking because I thought, oh, cheap day out, go and take him pumpkin picking. He'd really, really like that. Anyway, we go round, pick this pumpkin, decent sized pumpkin, the one that I did the car on. And anyway, got to the end. She went 12 quid. I was like, 12 quid for a pumpkin. So I went and bought another one from Tesco's for £2.50. Almost the same size.
Mate, that's what I'm going to do. Nice pumpkin, right there with a really cool design that I can't show everyone. Trust me, it's very fitting for this last year and a half.
I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Yeah, that'll be
very scary. Ooh, very scary. Things scare everyone's scared of us. Why not? One scared of this time of year. But yeah, it should be a good one this week. Obviously, we'll discuss more game next week. Obviously, during the show as well. I'm sure. Obviously, we'll throughout the week. I've got Martin on Tuesday on the podcast. That'll be good to have him on with me and Danny and Alex. So that'll be good to have them on there. Monday, I've got a guest coming on. I'm not sure who's going to be yet. I've got a couple of ideas who it could be, but I've got to have a chat with them both and see who I can get on, but they'll be announced in due course. And obviously, Wednesday, I don't know whether Harry are doing a show or not. I've got to ask him. I think he's been busy as well. Yesterday was the Prague game, so that's why I had Tone on yesterday. So again, a lot to sort out obviously before schedule next week, but I appreciate everyone's support on the show recently. You can see everyone obviously waiting the streams now, obviously having a chat away before the stream starts. Good so that everyone's obviously enjoying the content. 804 subscribers now was brilliant. The ultimate goal for me was to get to 1K at the end of the year. So each subscriber that we get is getting close to it, which is brilliant. So yeah, I appreciate all the support everyone so far on Twitter and YouTube. Obviously Bevo as well for being such a good mate, and also being someone who's supporting on the streams even when he's not on them himself. And yeah, I can't wait to see where this goes and see where we go at the end of the year. And thank you, Steve. Yeah, no, that's my new name now. Trust me, I will be adopting that name now until eventually the meme dies. But hey, I'll take it. Master Live. Trust me, that's going to happen. I know I'll get reminded of that on Saturday. Trust me, because I'm going to game Saturday, so that's get brought up with someone on Saturday. So that'll be fun. But until everyone, have a good weekend. Enjoy the game Saturday. I won't play tomorrow because I'm in Manchester tomorrow and then Saturday, so I'll be busy next couple of days anyway. But until everyone, have a good evening. Enjoy football Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you guys on Monday. Take care, everyone. Have a good evening.
Later.